All right, we are live.
Welcome, welcome everyone to another Facebook Live with Dr. Nelva Bryant. I am Greta Russo, and please, Dr. Bryant, introduce yourself to everyone out there.
Hello, everyone. Greta, I don't know what color your shirt is, but it looks like we're twinning today. I have a light green shirt on. It looks almost the same. But either way, folks, hey there. My name is Dr. Nelva Bryant. I'm a veterinarian. I am on staff with Delta Airlines, brought on to help review and revise the policies for animal transportation. I love that role. But aside from that, one of the main things I've known for is being a pet travel expert because I share pet-centric travel content. And why am I doing that? Because I have a behind the scenes view of the animal transportation industry as far as with the airline. And trust me, there's a lot of things that can be done or that you can do as pet owners, animal transporters, shippers. There's things you can do to better prepare animals for transportation. And that's what I'm sharing through our Facebook Live. So that's who I am. That's what I'm about. So Greta, my right hand, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Greta Russo. I work with Dr. Bryant in doing marketing and PR and events. But more importantly, I like to say that I'm her partner in this journey as we both navigate all of this, connecting everyone to learn more about animal transportation. And it's been a great journey. We thought we were going down one road, and like any journey, it takes you in different paths and directions. And it's really been fun to learning there are so many people and touch points in this entire journey for our animals. And so Facebook Live, we try to bring those people to you to help in different aspects of traveling with your animals. So, and today I'm so excited because we have an old friend to the show coming back, Varun, and he is from KLB Pets India. So we have a lot of Indian followers, and they do a lot of traveling. And as everyone knows, especially with the millennials, they are into traveling with their dogs and cats everywhere. So I think introducing Varun to everyone about information and guidance on traveling in and out of India as well as within India. This is going to be a great show, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definite. No, I love the fact that prior to coming on, we were talking about the different conferences related to animal transportation or pet transportation. I met Varun through attending the ATA, the Animal Transportation Association. They just had their meeting a couple weeks back, and I didn't make it. And I kind of, you know, how you look at people they show their photos on LinkedIn or whatever social media, and you sit there and say, dang it, I wish I would have went. But it would have been a great meeting for me to attend, but not this year. Hopefully in the future, Greta and I'll be able to go there. But that was the Animal Transportation Association. I also interact with Varun also through the International Pet and Animal Transportation Association. That's IPATA. And I'm hoping with this upcoming year that we can potentially start participating more with that as well. But that's how I met Varun. And we've had him on before. And it was such a great opportunity to just learn about transporting animals in different countries. Because again, as the purpose of these Facebook Lives, not just to say, my main purpose of the Facebook Lives is to introduce everyone to the different animal stakeholders in the animal transportation industry. Getting someone sometimes to help you prepare your pet for international travel or learning travel regulations by different countries is extremely important to know for our pet owners. So that's why we have Varun here. He was here before, and he has updates for us. So I'm really excited for him to share that with us today. Before we get to that, though, Greta, is there anything you wanted to touch on, thoughts on before we jump on with him, or what's going on?
Well, you know, it's we're at the beginning of the year, which is right before spring, and people getting antsy to hit the road or hit the airways with their pets. So I just want to start out by maybe mentioning some general things that they should remember. So number one, I think let's see, pet parents, they definitely need to start crate training travel crate training their dog or cat so that they can get used to it and know that that travel crate or carrier is their safe and happy space. You know, it might take, I guess, maybe a month or two, Dr. Bryant, to, you know, train your pet to get used to a travel carrier or crate. But it's so important when you are traveling because your cat or dog is going to be going into new environments, which can be scary. It's got scary sounds, scary smells, scary things to look at, like all these people and their legs going by them. So you want to just get them used to being happy inside their crate or carrier. And then, of course, Dr. Bryant, you always tell people to make sure that their pets are medically safe for travel.
Right.
So what are some of the things that people should probably have their veterinarian look out for? Like, what are some things that'll stop their pet from going?
Well, I mean, it's extremely important to make sure your pet is medically fit for air travel. And common misconception folks think is that if the veterinarian signs off on a health certificate, that means their pet is healthy, but that is not the case. It's not true. The health certificate, it's going to just, in a sense, document sometimes rabies vaccination status on them, so current rabies vaccination, and also show no signs of an infectious disease, basically, is that what it's attesting to. But as we know, an infectious disease, it could be totally different from a pre-existing medical condition. Say, in a given example, say if a pet has diabetes, that's totally different from them having canine distemper or, well, God, I don't even want to compare rabies, but either way, there's a total difference between being medically fit, no signs of no heart disease, no lung disease, or when I say heart disease, I'm talking about a heart murmur, or there's some pets have heart murmurs and they're that severe where with added stress, they can succumb to that during transport as far as really to be a negative impact on them if they're being stressed like that. So you don't want them to travel. So just make sure there's no underlying heart issues, respiratory issues or lung issues, diabetes. I worry about transporting pets with diabetes, and other internal conditions. So really go to your veterinarian way before you decide to travel and have them review the medical history of your pet with them and say, hey, do you think my pet has any underlying condition that might be exacerbated during transport and maybe not make him a good candidate for being transported by air? That's really important.
And to your point, aren't there specific breeds that really have to be careful of this? I know brachycephalic breeds, which is your pugs and even your Persian cats. I think don't the owners of these pets have to check the airlines to see if they're on the no-fly list or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily a no-fly list because not for their own doing or negative, but there are situations where certain breeds of cats or dogs that are brachycephalic, and basically they have a snub nose. They also call it snub nose. They have a kind of a flattened face. You know, we love them, and yes, we all know about the brachycephalic dog breeds. You know, your French bulldogs, English bulldogs, or pugs, and others. But for cat breeds too, your Persians, gosh, there's a few others keep slip my mind right now, but Persian is a good example where their faces are also kind of smushed. All those have difficulty breathing because they have all the same facial structures that a normal snouted, pet would have, a dog or cat would have, but it's compressed. So with that, you don't see it, but internally they have an elongated soft palate. They have their nares being switched back, they're actually more narrow. So almost like breathing through a straw, their trachea, they have issues there. So trust me, that all those features that we find cute in the brachycephalic breeds comes with internal issues that you may not think about that are a big deal. But during transport, it can become an issue because they can have difficulty breathing normally and then let them get stressed. And now they're in a kind of a respiratory compromise because of that situation. So
and I think you mentioned before that altitude can play a factor in making it harder to breathe. So, having a smushed in nose, you already are making it hard to breathe. So now if they are stressed out, that's going to add to it. And then the altitude, that's going to add to it. And by the time you're done, it can really compromise how well your pet can breathe. Luckily, there's a good solution for this. One of our friends to the show, Dr. Boaz Mann in Boca Raton, Florida, he does surgery on dogs with that issue to help them breathe much better. So I highly recommend people check out Dr. Boaz Mann who have brachycephalic pets. I'm not sure if he does cats. I've never seen a video
I've
on
never
it.
seen him do it, but I bet you he does. He does laser surgery to repair the elongated soft palates. He also does open up the airways. It might look like the before and after pictures are kind of interesting to look at the dogs, because they have a little stenotic airways, and then all of a sudden you see the after, and it's like facial reconstruction. But guess what? They can breathe better. So that's what it takes for your pets. I haven't seen many of he has a very big social media presence as well. He shows a lot of the before and after photos and just videos and clips of these dogs that's had surgery. I've never seen him do a cat, but I bet you he's done repair on cats too that are brachycephalic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? It's that time to bring on our guest. So let's pop him on. Then we will, I will read the bio for the company, and then we will get started in our conversation. So let's see.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see you guys.
Good having you back again. We love having you here. Love it.
Pleasure.
Well, Varun, before we get started and tell people more about you and KLB Pets, let me read the bio, and then we'll get started. Established in the year 1968, KL Bahara and Company has been actively involved in custom clearance and freight forwarding of import and export shipments throughout the world. We are a family-owned more than 55 years with very strong principles and have expansive knowledge of custom rules and regulations in India. Our headquarters is in New Delhi, the capital of India, and we are an IPATA active member. KLB is a well-established brand in itself, with handling live animal movement being our specialty. We have worked for other IPATA agents, IAM agents, IMA agents, diplomats, UN officials, embassies, and other moving companies and other agents in the past with clearance and forwarding. The statement, "No pets left behind," is our motto. Every decision we make is based on the statement, as we honestly believe that a pet completes a family. Every day we prepare to send or receive pets, either locally or internationally, and we are very fortunate to be a part of this happy reunion between beloved fur babies and their family. We offer pet relocation worldwide via air. We cover all main airports in India, appropriate IATA kennels, travel crate, both plastic and wood, trained personnel and staff, veterinarian assistance, documentation for exports and imports, rabies titer test from approved labs, microchip and vaccination assistance, export and import permits. We do offer a comprehensive package which takes care of every aspect of the relocation process. This includes providing crates, necessary guidance on acclimating pets to their crates for a comfortable journey, coordinating with veterinarians, airports, and ground transportation providers to ensure a smooth transition for pets from their current location to the new destination. Our primary goal is to ensure the safety, comfort, and well-being of pets while assisting owners in successfully relocating their furry companion to their new homes. Everyone, please help me welcome Varun from KLB Pets.
Yay, yay, yay,
Oh,
yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So, hi everyone. Thanks to all our
oh, it
viewers
didn't work.
who've been
No.
online. So, happy to return back.
It was delayed. Sorry about that, Varun. You know we're goofy. We try to. Sorry about that.
Okay. It's okay. It's no
Yeah.
problem. So it's
I'm sorry.
so it's happy to return back.
Well,
I would
thank you
say
so much for
after
joining us.
7 or 8 months, like we did our last session on India around August, I believe it. And I'm so happy that I got a chance to be back with you guys at that. So I'd like to introduce myself again. So this is Varun Nandwani. I'm a chief pet relocator at KLB Pets India, which is a unit of KL Barara and Co. Private Limited. We are custom brokers and freight forwarders, and we are in a third generation company starting from 1968. We are still actively involved in all type of shippings, and pet shipping and live animal transportation is one of our main segment of our company, where myself and our staff and our one of the family members from the organization is being actively involved in day-to-day affairs of live animal transportation. And we cover all major airports in India. We have 7 airports internationally where pets are allowed to travel out, and 7 for incoming and 6 for outgoing. So normally it's New Delhi. I'll start from the top where we are based at, which is the northern part of the India. So it's New Delhi, the capital of India. Then we goes to down towards the west. It's called Mumbai, which is the economic capital of India. And then we got towards the south. We have 4 airports, which is Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and recently a new one has been started in last year, October, which is Cochin, where only international imports are allowed as of now by the government of India. And then we go to the eastern part of the India, which is Kolkata, and that is our 7th airport. So these are all 7 airports where pets are internationally can be traveled. So these are the major hub, or we can say entry points and exit points for taking pet in and out.
Wow.
That's fantastic. I tell you, you told us so much great stuff. You knocked out 2 of my banners, so I didn't have to put them up there. I wanted to just ask you. I wanted to ask you a question real quick. From what I was reading, it mentioned that your company provides crates for travel. So we were just telling people to get their pets used to their home travel crate or carrier. So are you providing crates for people who don't have that, or are you putting these crates inside your crates, or are you taking the animal out of their crates and putting them in your crate?
So we have all type of crates wooden in a fiber, the plastic one, which is as per the IATA live animal regulations. So we have a stock for majority of the crates brands, okay, which is from Belgium. If we talk about Gateway and Moderna, we recently ordered for imported it up, okay, and we have one from the Hungarian brand as well, and we got from Hong Kong as well. So we have all type of stocks in our warehouse setup. So we have new and old both. So somebody is looking to do a crate training for their dog or a cat before a travel, so they can definitely take a crate from us, even an old one or a new one as per their wish, and they can start doing a crate training, because I believe the crate training is one of the most important travel aspect, and an idle crate training can be started like 45 to 60 days in advance also for travel. So I prefer like all the furry, the parents who is looking to travel with their pets in a coming time and time, so they can start their idle training for the crates, and then they can start doing acclimatization of the crates with their pets.
That's perfect. Hey, just a thought, your idea of crates. Do you make wooden crates too? Because there's a lot of folks that have these larger breed dogs, and sometimes on
Absolutely.
the commercial market, they don't make crates that will fit them, and you're going to have to look
Yeah.
at alternatives. And
Absolutely. So we do manufacture the wooden crates on order, depending on the the breed and the size of the dogs. We do have some of the stocks also, but we also manufacture it up. Like we last summers we sent it up the Saint Bernard from Delhi to Frankfurt, and that was like one of the biggest crate we had ever fabricated up, and that dog alone weight was like 80 kilos, Saint Bernard, and the wooden box itself got it like 70 kilos.
Wow.
Because of the spice, and so we can easily turn inside the crate, and so we can do it up. And then we also manufacture CR82 crates, and we did manufacture the crates for another species and the pets, like we did it for rabbits as well and the parrots as well.
That's really, really good. Again, a lot of folks don't realize, well, I'll just say a lot of the crates that are on the commercial market here in the US. Now, I don't know, Varun, if you guys have the PetSmarts and the Petcos and stuff like that in your country, but here in the, no?
No, I don't. We do not have those like the biggest chain which are in US or the Western world and stuff. But we have another companies who deals in pet stuff, and they are basically the pet stuff importers. And I didn't see any manufacturer here in India, because most of these things got manufactured in China and they got imported in America. Or we also like in the past imported the crates from US, which is a bit white. I guess they're in Austin, Texas, somewhere. I believe that.
Yeah, no, I was bringing up just to say, though, that a lot of things that are out on the commercial market actually does not meet IATA standards as far as the crates, and folks have to realize that. You really need to work with someone, and a pet shipper, or if you're not sure, like I said, I provide information on my website too, but you need to find a crate that's compliant with IATA, the International Air Transport Association, those guidelines, to ensure the safety, because they're built to make sure the pets are safe during transport. These other ones that are on the commercial market, they can tear through them. You mentioned you had the CR 82, did you say?
Yeah, CR82.
Yeah, those are for those. Some dog breeds are so strong and have that inherent strength that they can actually rip through a lot of the ones that are on the commercial market. So you really need to start looking into something that's IATA compliant for your pet to ensure their safety during transport. I think I showed you, Greta, remember there was something a while back on social media where it showed it wasn't here in the US, it was somewhere international, but they showed a dog just ripping through a crate. It was out on the tarmac, it was just tearing through it. The plastic on that crate was thin as I don't know what. So again, make sure it complies with IATA. Work with an experienced pet shipper that knows what your pet needs. And then also, as you just mentioned, make sure, and Greta mentioned too, make sure to acclimate it prior to transport, because I mean, how would you feel if you got a pet and then all of a sudden the next day you put them in a crate? They're going to try to break out majority of the time, and in the process of trying to break out, they can injure themselves too. So you got to take all that under mind. They have to be everything in reference to pet travel requires preparation, advanced preparation. You can't just pick it up and just go. You have to prepare.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And we need to follow the live animal regulations very strictly. That's our Bible when it comes to the pet shipping. And every year we got new changes into this industry from our fraternity, our veterans, and our the vets, our pet shippers, port handlers, airlines. Everybody. They meet through various occasions, and the changes happens that every year depend on the scenarios and the experiences. So we have to follow our live animal regulations every year, which the new module came up in the beginning of the year.
Definitely.
Now, Varun, I have a question. So I think a couple shows ago we spoke with Susie Pritchard from the City of London, and she indicated that cats and dogs cannot travel in cabin. Do you know if cats and dogs can travel in cabin to in around India or to India?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got two airlines out of all the airlines which fly within India, domestic ones. So we have total three airlines which accepts live animal for carriage, and out of that, two airlines are there which allows pets in the cabin. So one is our Air India, which is our national carrier, and still we can call it the national carrier. It got privatized 2 years ago, but we still call it the national carrier, and it's another new airline which started like 2 to 3 years ago. It's called Akasa Air, and they do allow also pets in the cabin. So all these domestic airlines, and so they accept live animals for carriage, and they have narrow body aircrafts. Okay, so if at certain destinations which where they do not have an option to take the pets in the cabin, then we can send them as an excess package, or we can send them as an unaccompanied within the domestic market in India.
Okay. Let's see. Are there your company? If Are there specific airlines that your company works with in helping to transport the animals, or do you work with any airlines?
So I work with any airlines in that so majority of airlines which accept live animals, and they come to Delhi, being the capital and major hub to connect the South Asia gateway. So we work with all airlines, either it's from West or it's from East, Far East, Middle East, European, we work with everyone.
Okay. Let's see. This might be my computer, but I'm like the volume of your audio changed, Dr.
I am too. That's why I'm kind of like, yeah, your volume is a little bit lower. I don't know what happened.
I'll just check it. Just give me a second. Let me check it.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought I was losing my hearing. I'm like,
oh, there you are.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay. Thank you.
I thought I was losing it, Varun, because I was like,
No, I'm not good. I'm here.
I was like, okay, I'm getting closer and closer to the camera.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry,
okay.
I'm not at home. I'm not at home as of now. With yeah, so we're just traveling for the business. I'm another part of the world at that, so maybe.
well, thank you. Where are you located right now, then?
I'm in Portugal. I'm in Europe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us from Portugal.
Definitely, my kids are being awake at the midnight and just watching us. So they definitely want to say hello, Dr. Nelva, and hello, Greta.
That's great. That's great. Glad. Well, I'm so happy you're traveling. You're still making time for us, so that makes us feel special. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Just to backtrack, just in case people couldn't quite hear as well, let's ask you to answer again. Number one, does KLB work with airlines in animal transportation, or specific airlines, or all of them?
Actually, we work all of them, okay, and not only for animals, we do all types of cargo, but definitely like all the airlines which operates in and out of Delhi, the international one, and which accept live animals for carriage, we work with them on a regular basis.
Okay, fantastic. And then let's go back and answer about traveling in the cabin.
Yeah.
Traveling in a cabin, if we talk about within India, we have Air India and Akasa Air. These are the only two airlines, and to certain the weight allowance for the dog and the size of the soft bag which they allowed it up. So these are the only two airlines. So those things are mentioned on both of the airlines' website, Air India and Akasa Air. So people who are traveling within India with the pets in a cabin, and they need to check on their website, and they need to see that the weight allowance, which is the weight of the dog and the weight of the soft bag. So if they meet those requirements of the airlines, they can definitely take the pets within cabin within in India on these domestic airlines.
Right. You know what?
Okay, fantastic.
Just a quick thought on that too, because it varies by country. You know, there's certain airlines, not U.S. based, but there's certain airlines that would allow falcons inside too, or more than just dogs and cats. Does India do anything like that where they allow?
So I'll tell you, like for India, dog and cats are classified as pets only. Okay, rest everything which doesn't comes under dog and cats, they have been classified as an animals. Okay, so they are certain another rules and regulations which they need to follow it up in order to make them travel. So I truly believe, like I've been also like 16 years in the industry, and I had myself also take in the past still sometimes I do it up like pets. I fly with the pets in cabin or in a hold it up. So and then in India I didn't see a falcons going inside cabin, but definitely they are traveling in the belly of the plane in the whole area.
Mhm.
It could be a Middle Eastern thing, where falcons are more, the sacred thing, or the religious or a belief.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure it up. So I saw like the falcons, people traveling with it up on Middle Eastern things that areas, the flights when they take it up. But not, I didn't see never within in India.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. But no, I mentioned it because I mentioned it because a lot of folks will know, and I figured, brother, you probably didn't realize it too. There's certain, depending on the culture or the country, they allow falcons to be in cabin, and I haven't seen it personally, but I've heard, I think Emirates might do it, but I've heard that they're in cabin and they might have a little something over them so that for their vision, to control vision or block it a little bit, but they travel in cabin, which is amazing.
Yeah, I also saw that it up in an Emirates and a Qatar flights. That's all on the social media. I never get a chance to see live on those things. Like I fly a lot as well, but never get a chance to it.
If you ever fly Emirates or Qatar, and
I did it up, once or twice in a year. Yeah,
like I said, if you ever see it, take a picture so I can have it, because I've always heard that they do that, but I would love to see it. I would love to see that.
Oh, I recently flew on Egypt Airlines, which is also another Middle Eastern, the African airline, but I didn't see anything like that on that airline as well.
Yeah, so interesting.
Now, to make sure I heard you correctly, the only two that allow in cabin are Air India and Akasa Air?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. I'll make a flyer about that after the show to remind people. Now, I got a question, and I know it's going to take a little bit to answer, and it comes in two parts. So we have followers who are here in America, lots and lots of Indians that on a regular basis travel to India. And then I know that you have lots of travelers within India that travel with their pets. So I need you to answer giving some tips to both pet parents from where they are on the best tips you can give, maybe 3 to 5 on traveling to India or around inside India. So let's start with the people from America coming to India.
Okay, so we start with the people coming from states to India or anywhere from overseas to India. So the basic thing is that you must have the vaccinations done. So some of the countries in the West which are developed and who are rabies free, they normally don't do the rabies vaccination. So it is not required for them. Like for an example, UK or in Asia, it's in Singapore. Okay, so they are rabies free, but in order to import the pet into India, dog or cat, your pet must have a rabies vaccination, and it has to wait for 30 days. So the first thing is that you need to check for India that your pet must be having a valid rabies vaccination. So for those countries where the rabies vaccination have a 3 years validity, India will gonna count it only for its initial first year. So the vaccination has to be minimum 30 days old and maximum 365 at the time of travel, which is the 1 year. So that's a basic thing.
Okay.
So no matter whichever country you are from or is an origin, and you are traveling to India with your pet, for your dog or cat, you must have a rabies vaccination, a valid rabies vaccination.
Okay.
Are they taking
And what is another tip?
I was gonna say one more question with that, if you don't mind. Are they taking it a step further? They have to have a rabies titer, or is just a vaccine alone at this point?
It's just a rabies vaccination. For India, we do not need a rabies titer test.
Okay.
What's another tip that you would give somebody outside of India traveling in?
So we also need a microchip. So for pet coming to India, like I believe the microchip is required everywhere now across the globe, and it has to be an ISO 15-digit long microchip for the pet. Okay, so your pet need to be microchipped at the time of the travel, and that the microchip number must be recorded on the vaccination records. Yeah. So so I would say like you should prepare your documents related to pets, which are the vaccination records and the microchip records, proper in a format, like you have all the pet details, owner details over there. Okay, and like a vaccination given date, vaccination due date, and manufacturer details. So every country have their different format and a set of records which they keep it up. So a few of the basic details which Indian authorities are looking it up when they see the records of these pets vaccinations. You have a given date, due date, manufacturer details, batch or a lot number, and if vet can write their name and have a stamp over there with the signature, because some country doesn't have a vet practice stamp it up, but most of the countries you can see they have a vet practice stamp where they put the stamp and do a signature, and also there somewhat writes their the registration number as a standard practice.
Question here, just step back one quick second. Microchipping. Are they specific on when the microchip and the rabies vaccination being followed? Like Susie was saying for London and a lot of UK, in the UK as well, they have to be microchipped and vaccinated against rabies either on the same day or microchip and rabies vaccination afterwards. If you do the rabies vaccination first and then microchip, you have to redo the rabies vaccination again. Do you guys have that too? And I'm just enlightening everybody to say it again, because I was surprised, because I didn't recognize why that happened. They said for London, UK, it's because the microchip actually is your way of, basically it's registering or tracking that animal. So everything that happens after that is valid. Anything that happens before the microchipping is not. So do you guys have that specific requirement?
So I agree with Susie up to, well, I would say not fully, but up to some extent. But this is like a practice has been falling by everyone it up across the globe it up. So microchip always have to be the first, and then it has to be the rabies vaccination after that it up. But again, it I believe that sometimes it's only like country specific. Like you have to, from example, from India to Europe or UK, we have to make a pet travel. So the rabies is the first thing which comes as per the rules and regulation, and then you have to do the rabies. If the rabies is already continued and it's already been done in the past, and the pet is not microchipped, so they have to give the new microchip, and then they have to do the new vaccination either on the same day or the next day, but it has to be done again after the microchip.
Yeah. So interesting.
And
that's the case.
I got a question about the microchip. Did you mention a specific microchip? I thought you said a specific one, and that's why
yeah. So in my earlier days when I been into this industry, so there are like AVID microchips available from Hong Kong. There are another type of a microchip available, which are like alphanumeric. Okay, but as we are going slowly by gradually, now we have only the ISO microchips. I don't think we still have an AVID microchips in the practice. Maybe some countries it have, but day by day, like everyone is now moving towards an ISO microchip. So, and the new scanners which are coming, they reads only like ISO microchip. I don't think the new scanners can read AVID microchips as well, or they are still existed up.
Okay, I just wanted, because I don't think people realize there's a difference in microchips. I know I didn't until you just said that.
Yeah. So ISO is basically international standards, and this is like a 15-digit long number. Okay, that is an easy to identify, and AVID are basically alphanumeric numbers or just like 9-digit numbers, which is starting from AVID, and those 9-digit numbers. So those are like an old pattern of those microchips.
Okay, so the ISO is 15.
Yeah, 15-digit. That's only numbers, and the old patterns in which AVID or other one, they are old numeric. They are alphanumeric. So they have some alphabets and some numbers, but the ISO is just only numbers with the 15-digit.
I can't remember. It's the international. It says International Organization for Standardization, ISO.
Yeah. ISO.
Yep. So it's just, and again, it's the international standard. So now these microchips can be recognized internationally, which is great. I know in the U.S. at one point, microchipping is really growing in the USA, in the United States, where it's becoming more prominent and people are doing it more. But there was a time, you know, that it wasn't ISO compliant, like you're saying with yours. They were just 9 digits. Not many people.
9 digits. Yeah.
So now it's almost where if they don't have that reader, if it's not ISO compliant and you don't want to get your pet revaccinated, you have to carry, at least they're saying you need to carry a reader so that you can identify them once you get to your destination. But it's just easier, either ISO compliant, microchip for your pet for travel, and for other methods for tracking and tracing your pet, just in case, God forbid, it gets lost. So it's really important though.
Yeah. So currently the market trend is for the ISO. We're not sure that across the globe those other scanners still exist or still available, which can read alphanumeric or a AVID microchip. Everybody had moved to the ISO one.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. And so that's 2. So what is one more tip that you would suggest?
Sorry, Greta, I missed you up. You have to just repeat one more time. What is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. So that was 2. So what is one more tip that you would suggest to traveling people from outside of India?
Yeah, outside of India, coming to India, start early as much as possible if you can it up. So you have to keep your vaccinations, microchip, start your pet crate training in advance, get your pet acclimatized it up, and then you need to see that what is the purpose of bringing a pet to India. So either you're doing a transfer of residence or you're just going for a short visit or a tourist meeting friend and family. So accordingly, you need to prepare your paperwork. So you can get in touch with any of the IPATA member in India in order to get all the details related to getting pet to India.
Oh, I have a question for India. Do you have any restricted breeds, and do you have a quarantine for pets coming in, anything like that?
Yeah, so for pets, which are household pets, and they're moving to India, we do not have a quarantine period for them. It's just only for the commercial animals, and they will be quarantined 15 to 30 days, depend on their like breed and the nature. So apart from, as I mentioned, like only dog and cats are classified as pets in India. Rest all are the animals. So we need to have a special import license, a permission from a ministry in order to get those pets imported into India. So it comes with the health guidelines, which we need to follow at the country of origin and at the destination in India. So in order to get the import permit for that. So accordingly, we will see it up like for other animals, what guidelines we had been received from the ministry from that country of origin, which we need to follow. So for an example, if we need to get a rabbit from India to from US to India, so there are certain guidelines, health protocols, which we need to follow in country of origin, and which includes like maybe a pre-export quarantine or some test for the rabbits or some vaccinations for the rabbit, which has to be done. So there are dual those protocols has been set up between countries. Okay, so whenever we reach our ministry in order to find it up, like what are those requirements, which may change time to time and up, and then we need to follow those things at up.
Yeah. And I'm glad you bring this up, because a lot of folks don't think about again, the thought of quarantining. Folks don't think about the animals and why they do this. these animals coming to different countries, coming into your country, have different diseases that you're not even aware of, but there's diseases that potentially could transmit. So these quarantine periods are a time to evaluate, to ensure, or even do further testing to make sure that it transports stuff into your country.
So I am doing some of the rabbits currently. So I see there are some of the testings has been involved for those rabbits, which has to be done at the country of origin. And also upon arrival in India, they are also going to quarantine for 15 to 30 days, and they will be kept in the quarantine. Okay. And after that, they will be released at that. So all those testings, which is required at the country of origin, we need to submit the report to our official vet in order to get the import permit.
Yep. Perfect.
Is there a government website that people can look at when they're starting to plan early to help get their steps in order?
Absolutely. So our the official vet, like what you say in US, it's called USDA. So we call AQCS, which is Animal Quarantine and Certification Services, and there is a website. So it's, I believe, AQCS.gov.in. AQCS India. Sorry, it's AQCSindia.gov. Gov stand for a government portal for the India, which is a government portal. Okay, so it's called AQCSindia.gov.in. So they can have a look or review this website, and they talk about all the current rules, order, and procedures, and list all the airports where the pets can import in India, and have quarantine stations with the contact details of the quarantine officer. So we got 7, and I believe all are listed over there.
Thank you for sharing that.
So it's animal quarantine.
AQCS. It's called AQCSindia.gov.in. That's a website. And the authority or the department which issues the permits, it's called Animal Quarantine and Certification Services, which comes under Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India. So that's our ministry.
Yeah, we definitely want to share that, because I always make a point of letting people know that the USDA Pet Travel gives information, but sometimes what if that information is not current? They didn't update it. So sometimes go to that destination country's website and you can find out that same information. And sometimes it's even better detail than what USDA Pet Travel gives. I hate to say it, but it's better. So thanks for sharing that. We'll definitely see if we can get that, share that with your documentation and everything.
Yeah. So we all are, 7 ports where we can bring the pets. Okay. So their stations have their email address and contact details. If somebody wants to reach them in order to have more detailed information, which they cannot find on the website, and definitely they can email or call them to them and find more information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't want to miss out on, I know you do travel within India. So my first question is, all the tips you just gave, are those the same ones you would give people traveling within India, or are there tips that are different and you would want to give?
Yeah, so within India, the process is very simple. Like if you do not have a microchip for domestic travel in a plane, it's okay. It's not a compulsion, and you can just have a vaccination card, and you can issue a certificate from a local vet. Some airlines accept up to 3 days, but I prefer if you can do it within the 24 hours of a travel, a valid fit to fly health certificate from any practicing vet in India, that would be fine, and carry the original vaccination record and the original fit to fly health certificate on the day of the travel. And you can all these there are 3 airlines, so 2 take pets as an excess baggage and a cabin, and the third only as unaccompanied cargo. So you can choose whether you want to take a pet with yourself in cabin, if it's gonna match the requirements of the airlines for the pets traveling in the cabin, or you want to take in a belly of the plane as an excess luggage, or you want to send as an unaccompanied. So that's the main thing. Set up and get your dog, acclimatized to crate before travel as much as possible.
Okay, so to make sure I got this straight, if you're traveling within India, you do not need a microchip. You still need a health certificate.
Yeah.
And any airline will take your pet in cabin and in cargo.
So total 3 airlines, out of them 2 takes in a cabin, subject to their, the requirements for the weight allowance and the soft bag dimensions. If we are meeting it up, those breeds, as per the airline's websites, we need to follow that it up. And the third airline is only unaccompanied cargo they accepted within the domestic. And most of these airlines operate narrow body aircraft, so bigger size dog, the large size dog, giant size dog, they won't be able to accommodate it up on the domestic route.
Yeah.
Okay, so within India, they can only in cabin only take Air India and Akasa Air.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's a mouthful. All the tips you gave, but they were all great.
Well, I want, before you go, I want you to share what you're doing with IPATA and your new role with them, please.
Thank you for making this a tough. Yeah, so I'm excited that I got a chance to be at prestigious, our organization IPATA, which works for the safety of animals, across the globe, and a lot of new things happening, Take, and we got the new board where our president, Dr. Gary, had took the presidentship this year, and we got the new members into the board, and also our task force committees like research and development, industry liaison, conference one. So everybody is doing around the clock their best in order to bring more and more new good things in the coming time and time. So definitely as the time goes up, we will be going to see new things coming up on IPATA, and everyone, I would say, day and night across the globe is just working. So our furry members, they should be safe at the time of the travel. Their comfort level should be met. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm excited that
Uh-oh, can't hear you.
Industry for 16 years. Got a chance to be the first Indian to be on a board of directors. So I'm also learning, and we have all our board of directors. They have been very great. Especially the officers and the regional directors at large. So they come from a different backgrounds, and under the same roof, everybody is contributing in order to get more and more good things for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Well, I know we definitely, Dr. Bryant, at least we got to try to get you out to an IPATA meeting so we can support VARUN and all of the great efforts you're doing.
Yeah, everybody's putting their efforts. Like last year, my home airline, Air India, they joined IPATA, and I was so excited to know them that they become the members, one of the airline member it up, and thanks to our board who convinced them last year, and they become a new airline member. So definitely everybody at the board, the previous year and this year, they're trying their best in order to get more and more for the betterment of this industry, for the betterment of the fraternity, and mainly for family members.
Yeah, connecting all stakeholders, basically. Go ahead, sorry.
I know that we spent a lot of time talking about pet parents and their travel, but I don't want to miss out on other people who travel with animals. So I know that you work with companies that transport animals in other ways. So are there any tips that you want to give to those other animal companies and how they should work with you? I guess other transport companies, how they should work with KLB Pets?
Yeah, sure, Tab. So like we work across the industry with everyone at Tab. So not even just direct customers, even the indirect customers like other agents or another fraternity members who want our services, want us hired, because we are also a custom broker. So even for some of the companies, agents, we do the clearance. We help them in order to import another animals into the country as well. So wherever it is possible, whatever help we can regarding this, our pets and animals, we are always available for them.
Fantastic. I wanted to make sure we covered all your clients.
One of the coolest thing I think that I feel about IPATA is that it's a network system.
Yeah.
So you could need assistance for someone going from India to Australia, and you can connect the dots and make it happen. So I think
absolutely
network. Yeah.
Even like the day I started up, I had worked with so many agents at the different part of the world where I never think about that this thing exists up. And when I started up like 16 years back, I have absolutely no idea that how this industry works at that time. So I find myself in a bizarre situation where the person who brings me to the industry, my mentor, he asked me on a sudden, evening that what are you doing on those days? I said nothing, and he said, "Okay, pack your bags, took a flight, and come to the Hong Kong." I said, "Okay, I'll do it up," and I find myself, around with 295 IPATA shippers, the members from across the globe, and then I see I'm happy to see those people who are likewise minded. And I was so nervous that where I came it up, I have absolute no idea it up, but slowly and gradually I find myself that I had landed into the right place at that.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was Hong Kong in 2011. Okay. That was a drastic change in my career.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
It's a good, but that's why, Greta, I'm hoping in the future we can aim towards going to to attend the meetings for IPATA, because it's a good feeling to be around people that have the same mindset and passion for animals getting to their destination safely. It really is a good feeling.
That's the biggest, I would say, happiness in everybody's hearts happens when the pet reaches to their final destination, and that happy reunion moment when the owner sees the pet. Like last night, we sent 2 cats to Japan, Tokyo, and those got separated from their owner for 2 months and for the last 24 hours, he was active with us on WhatsApp and the updates, what's happening, how's it going, and we send them a continuous updates like flights departed. We hand over the pets. Okay, now the flight is going to arrive. So it's 7 hours flight, every 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, then they arrive and everything. So it's going on like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely.
And then finally, when he says, "Yeah, I got my pet," and that says, "Man, mission accomplished. We succeeded."
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Bryant, do you have any last questions you want to present to Varun?
No, I am just happy that you participated with us again, and I'm happy. I'm hoping to see you. Actually, I am going to think about it. End of October, IPATA. Need to see if we can figure this out. But hoping to see you this year. If not, we will continue this. We want updates for the following year with you. And if there's anything new that's within this year that you want to share with us, maybe we can make a special arrangement for you to come back and share it with us.
Absolutely. If there would be a new developments happening, we will definitely let you know. We will I will be happy to get back to on the session.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, that was another fantastic Facebook Live with Dr. Nelva Bryant and our special friend Varun. And I appreciate you coming while you're in Brazil, making time to come and talk to us. But we look forward to seeing you all next week. And let's see, we have 2. We got a special edition that is going to be on Monday the 3rd. And then we got our regular Friday one. So everyone, the month of March is going to be hopping. We got one every week. And I'm looking forward to it.
And you just got a comment there, just popped up there, Varun.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just Yeah, I want to say
Great.
hello to my kids who've been still watching me. I'm happy to say hello, Harnoor, hello, Kian. I'm happy to see they're still alive at the midnight. It's like 30 minutes past midnight at time, and they're not yet asleep. They're still online.
Because they're supporting your day. That's wonderful. Happy for you. Well, thank you all for
It's
joining
a
us.
family
That's
business.
family affair. That's good.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, everyone have a fantastic weekend, and we look forward to speaking to you all next week. We're signing out. Take care.
Happy weekend, everyone. Take care.
Let's see.